Hey everybody, Levi John, that's me. Just doing another video. Wanted to discuss things, who I am, the bands and things that I've been involved in, and the music I've created. I have a YouTube channel. It's not a very successful YouTube channel, um, where I put all my music, bands that I've played in, um, bands that didn't make it, didn't become anything, or whatever. Anything I've been involved in, I kind of put it on this channel. Um, and it's not the greatest music. It's not. The recordings of some of these bands pretty bad. Um, but I'm still a person. I still live the life. I still feel like I've got great stories to tell. I feel like I owe it to myself to actually, get the acoustic out, possibly run through some of the riffs and demonstrate that I am the creator of songs like Pissed Off and, all my tracks. A song like Pissed Off, let's talk about it. I did an interview once, okay, and I tried to just briefly discuss everything, the bands I've been in, where I've come from, where I'm at, all that. And today I was watching the interview, and it was a few years ago. I'm back in Goulburn, my hometown. Back in my hometown of Goulburn. I've lived in Brisbane twice. The first time I lived in Brisbane, I was 19, 20, 21. My sister was living in Brisbane. My mum wanted to kick me out of home, sent me to my sister's, and I ended up in Brisbane. And yeah, I wrote songs back in 1999, back in high school, and when you're in high school, you have crazy dreams. You have crazy dreams. You want to be this, you want to be that. You know, I learned a lot about Metallica and heavy metal in high school, and I had a best friend named Liam, and he showed me Metallica, and I learned how to play guitar by learning Metallica riffs. Some of the first riffs I've learned, like Harvester of Sorrow. Fucking Enter Sandman. I learned how to play 12-bar blues. Anyway, when it came to wanting to do it myself, I was like, well, I want to write music like Metallica. I want to be fucking Metallica, Man, I wanted to be fucking Elvis. All right, like, but no, when I started listening to fucking Metallica and shit, and then I figured out, oh my god, like, I thought you had to play guitar a certain way, and when I realized, oh, you can play guitar, electric guitar, and you can do riffs a certain way, I wasn't very good at chords and things. I never disciplined my hands enough. Strange things, like I don't even use 3 fingers within 3 frets. I use 4 fingers within 3 frets, Anyway, I came up with my own riffs, and the first song I tried to put together back in '99 was a song called Pissed Off, and I was into rap music too. Loved my rap music, came up with a really great rap lyric, and then the few years that I was learning all these riffs and making up my own little riffs, I had so many cool little riffs of my own. I tried to connect them all together, and we created Pissed Off. So a few things about that song. You listen to the start of that song, it's got the cymbals. Okay, we're ripping off Korn, Blind, Blind start off with the cymbals. The main riff, I'm ripping off kind of like fucking Korn and fucking Cypress Hill with it type riff. So, I came up a bit of an intro. playing it very well. I had my intro. And then when it comes to the main riff, how did I come up with that riff? Well, it's like reverse engineering Metallica music, you know? You look at the riff, Harvester of Sorrow, just that area. Just that area. I was mucking around in that area and I ended up, I don't have a pick. I usually was writing my songs, palm muting my riffs a bit here and there. But I came up with, sorry. Came up with that. And then I'm like, that would work really good with my rap lyric, my rap song, you know. So we tried it one day and we're connecting it all together and we ended up something like this. Not playing it very well, sorry guys. Let's do this, don't do fucking wrong, stick it up right to the neighbor too. Don't do this, don't do that, don't smoke this, don't drink that, then I fight back, fuck you. I'm sick of this shit, Alex and ass, it's making me sick. Gotta bring about like a society, brother fucking baby. You know, it just all worked, and I was so excited. And remember, sorry, it all started with the bass. I was coming up with all this shit on the bass, and then I'm like, oh fuck, you know, I've got to now make guitar riffs. But the cool thing about learning about Metallica, and you learn their formula, you know, the bass line's just like the guitar riff, or the guitar is kind of just like the bass line, and I don't have to do chords. I can do these cheap ass kind of riffs. And when I finally put it all together, you know, showing my friends and everybody, they all thought, fuck yeah, that is so cool. That is so fucking cool. So fucking cool. It wasn't until a few years later when I moved from my hometown to fucking Brisbane where, you know, I was able to record in Brisbane. You know, I scored a job at Red Rooster, met another guy who was playing in bands and playing in venues and stuff, and he hooked me up with a man named Murray. I'm sorry, I can't tell you his real name, but he was known as Murray. He was in a wheelchair. Used to record for, you know, the proper labels and all that, but got in a car accident, damaged himself pretty bad. Ended up sort of just being in a wheelchair, recording bands and making music out of his house, sort of thing. But he was very experienced, and he took me on. He took me on free of fucking charge. Didn't cost me a cent, you know. He took me on. I got to know the guy, and he charged me simple rates, good rates, you know, to record my demo. There was a lot of smoking going on in my life. I was probably spending more money on pot than I was recording music. I made a lot of mistakes. I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't, you know, when I put this demo together, I didn't exactly send it to radio stations. I didn't send it to radio stations. I didn't send it to anybody. I didn't have a live performance. And something Murray was trying to teach me was you got to have a live performance. If you don't have a live fucking performance, you've got nothing, really. And I didn't have a live performance, but I had these songs and I knew kind of what to do in the studio when it came to what I need to do when it comes to the music. But yeah, when it was all finished, I didn't send my demo to anybody. Nobody. I was too busy having fun, you know, because I'm thinking, I want to be a rock star. I'm living in the city. It's all about drugs, sex, and rock and roll, isn't it? Well, I found the drugs, I found the sex, and I found the rock and roll. And I was having such a good fucking time. I didn't actually fucking send my music to a label. No, I got sucked into the whole Australian Idol, X Factor crap and ended up lining up, trying to poach singers, trying to find people to get involved with my music. I travelled to Sydney. I met one girl and she seemed pretty keen and we had something going on over the phone. The problem was I'm a wishful thinker, and I was saying things like, oh, if we get involved, we make this happen, we get recording together, We might have something. We might make it. I guarantee it. We'll fucking get there. Wishful thinking. Okay. Yeah, I'm blowing steam out my ass a bit, but I had a lot of confidence in what I was doing. You know, she even suggested at the time name change, and I'm like, fuck no, it's Bloodshot Most Wanted. I was so set in my ways. Uh, None of that worked out. None of that worked out. I was left with a demo. I finished the demo. I had to move on. I ended up joining a death metal band, Remorseless. Um, but all these years later, you know, it's been on YouTube for a while now. I know that music has traveled. That's the amazing thing. It's traveled. It's gotten out there. Um, and all these years later, I'm like, I've had a son. I've had a son 2 years ago. Life's changed. Priorities have changed. I don't want to play in bands anymore. I don't want to play in bands anymore. No, I just want to do a solo thing. Get back to maybe one day performing a lot of this rap metal music, you know. But no, I want to sit here and really demonstrate that I fucking wrote this shit, alright? This came from my mind, alright? If anyone's out there claiming they wrote this fucking shit, you tell them fuck off. Levi Bartholomew John. Bloodshot Most Wanted. Johnny fucking Grit wrote this shit, okay? Because I did. Alright, now I want to tell, like, there's not much of a story. Come from a small town, went to a city, Brisbane, recorded my music, fucking tried to maybe get a female vocalist to get involved who lived in another part of the country when I was going to the X Factor audition trying to find people. It didn't work out. Had a best mate named Jeff. He was writing really cool stuff on the acoustic, was writing some really cool tunes there. Was trying to fucking create this crazy fucking band. It never happened. It never happened. But all these years later, I decided, fuck it, let's just go solo, call it Johnny Grit and all that. But I want you to know that I came up with these riffs, and the main riff. I was so proud of that riff. That's like my Creedence Clearwater original riff that I got to squeeze into my fucking song. And I would love to re-record the song. There's so many different ways there's so many fucking things you can do with this fucking song. Like, I've written my version, but it's not quite what I really wanted to do. I was thinking more epic shit, more drums. But anyway, I want you to know, yeah, I wrote these riffs. And I came off a lot of these riffs from, yeah, it's like reverse engineering, you know? And I took Metallica and all those, and then I turned that into, that's how I came up with that shit. Good stuff. Now, another track I did was called Bring It On. Now, the lyrics in that, I'm talking about rap, gangster rap, and how it's a waste of time, and I'm gonna do this rap metal shit. The lyrics, okay, let's get something clear. I used to write lyrics all the fucking time, like a rapper. I was just rap. My mind was fucking full of rap. Pen to paper all the time. It consumed me. I would be stuck at my fucking table with my pen and paper, figuring out this whole fucking thing. Lyrics, did it for years. I don't do it anymore. I don't get the pen and paper out anymore. I don't fucking do it. It consumes me, man. I had like Eminem, just a big box of fucking all my lyrics and stuff. So when I was recording Johnny Grit demo, Bloodshot Most Wanted shit, some songs had lyrics to it, and other songs, like Bring It On. Bring It On, that didn't really have lyrics, but I had a fucking like a shoebox full of fucking lyrics, man. And when we were like, we need lyrics for this song, I went back through my shoebox and I picked out this and I picked out that and I put it together. And it's a weird, stupid song that fucking three different verses that were originally three different songs on paper. Just, yeah, bring it on, you know. The lyrics are what they are. The music, that when I start off on that bass, like, you know, I'm not saying very well. I'm really sorry. Oh, that's bad. You know, that intro. You remember Red Hot Chili Peppers with Around the World? I wanted to make something like that, and I felt like I did with that bass line and Bring It On. I wrote that. But the weird thing is, like I explained before, I'm squeezing 4 fingers into 3 frets. So instead of, it's kind of cheating. It's using the 3 fingers, but I'm using the 4 fingers. Bit dyslexic like that. I wrote these songs. I wrote Pissed Off. I wrote Bring It On. I wrote Take It Away. Well, actually, the music for Take It Away. The lyrics, I met a guy who had a poetry book and he had these lyrics, take it away, let the thunder roll and the lightning flash. I'm like, hey man, did you write this? And I used his lyrics. I didn't really sing those lyrics very well. It's quite terrible. But I shared it with him. I didn't do it behind his back or nothing. I was like, I used your lyrics for this track. Take it away. So, you know, I have used other people's lyrics. I will be honest. But I'll tell you which songs. Take It Away, I didn't write the lyrics for Take It Away. I wrote the music. Amigos, I wrote the lyrics, the music, the whole lot. Bring It On, I wrote the whole fucking lot. Pissed Off, I wrote the whole fucking lot. With Liam's help, of course. My mate Liam, my main man Liam. Those 4 tracks, man, they were supposed to set me up, but I didn't have a live act. No live performance. And I'm not very good at playing and singing at the same time. Like sort of. I remember doing a test run at Murray's where we recorded me playing and rapping at the same time, and it was weak. It wasn't strong. It was slow. I wasn't playing very fast. Sort of doing it, but not. And he explained to me what an asset in the music industry really is. Someone who can sing, perform at the same time, play and sing at the same time. If you can play a guitar and sing at the same time, you're not just a vocalist. You become more of an asset, he explained to me, the more you can do that sort of stuff. So when you look at James Hetfield, he's an asset. You know, he can play and sing at the same time, asset. The singer from Trivium, same thing, bit of an asset. You know, not to take away what vocalists do. I mean, Phil Anselmo, isn't he just the coolest motherfucker on the planet? Like, he is. Hardest motherfucker. We all love Phil. And yeah, and look, I just wanted to do a quick video. I might try and do a better video. I know I didn't perform very well this thing, but I don't really care. I just felt the need to have a little discussion, you know. So yeah, yeah, 1999, wrote it all back in high school, and then, you know, nothing was happening here in my hometown. Moved to Brisbane because my mum wanted to kick me out, and eventually got a job at Red Rooster. Met a guy named Corey Shepherd who was playing in a band called Dr. 12 Gauge. They were doing shows and stuff. I got to see them perform the basement and stuff, and he hooked me up with a recording sort of situation with Murray, and Murray had a lot of stories. He claims he recorded Keith Urban once upon a time when he used to live in Brisbane and was a nobody. That excited me. I was like, wow, I'm being recorded by someone who recorded Keith Urban once upon a time, you know. But like I said, he had a car accident. His career kind of changed. I remember trying to find Murray when I was last living in Brisbane. Went back to his house, and his house had burnt down, where I recorded this music and everything. The place is no longer there. And I was like, fuck, I'm never going to find Murray again. Best time of my life, you know. Just didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Don't know how to sell music. Don't know how to fucking sell music. I know how to create music. Just don't know how to sell it. Don't know what to do. You're meant to patent and copyright everything, and I'm too fucking stoned out of my head and to fucking bother doing anything. Yep, I'm a fucking fuck up. So no, I didn't have a career. I didn't make it anywhere. I didn't get the live performance together. But I have had time to look at it differently. I'm still an artist. I still exist. I'm still a person. You know, these songs are still out there. And yeah, when you want to, there's lots of artists. Art comes in so many shapes and forms. You know, being undiscovered and unappreciated is something that happens to artists. You know, maybe one day I pass away or something, years down the track, the powers of that be might take this music and do something with it. I don't know. But I want recognition. I want recognition. And I'm the original artist. I feel like those old blues artists back in the day who used to get paid a bottle of fucking piss and a night at a hotel for their track, you know, when the recording studios went out and recorded a lot of these black artists, you know. Well, you know, I'm a sucker too, you know. I fucking got on MySpace and put all my music out there. I didn't get paid a cent. But the companies, you know, they've got this music now. They've captured all this music, and I'm an artist who feels like one day they might use my music, but I want to be the original artist. I've always dreamt of being the original artist. I don't mind being the broke original artist that wasn't famous and never had a career, never sold a fucking thing. Van Gogh never sold a fucking painting until after he died. You know what I mean? It's like I can do this. I can do this. I'm happy being that artist. A fucking nobody. Let's try and put a spin on this shit or something. Doesn't matter. I will do a better video. But anyway, I'm pissed off. I wrote it. My mate Liam helped me, you know, where everything should be and how it should be. But I wrote the riffs and songs and everything, and he helped me sort of figure out where things should be in the song. And we wrote that shit. Just wanted to put that out there. 23 minutes talking about fucking shit. Gee. Take care, everyone. Bye.